friends and colleagues, this is the second video I give on the vaccine, which is a major issue, versus the new variants. And there are a lot of questions along the line. We talked a little bit about the best evidence we have, the evidence-based data we have. It is with the mRNA vaccine. Their relative safety with some acute adverse events, but tremendous efficacy, which exceeded our expectation in the range of 94 to 95%. And these are the Moderna and the Pfizer vaccine. By the way, I have no conflict of interest with either company, so I'm just kind of presenting you to the hard facts. The anaphylaxis, the risk of anaphylaxis or severe adverse allergic reactions is almost 1.1 per 100,000. So it's relatively low, and it's mainly people who have history of anaphylaxis to other drugs or other agents, including polyester glycol. We want to go a little bit about the other vaccines. The AstraZeneca vaccine, it's not an mRNA vaccine. It has a vector or an envelope, which is the adenovirus vector or envelope, but it's a spike protein. It goes after the spike protein. The efficacy is 70% versus the 94, 95% with the other mRNA vaccines. So it's lower. What is a little bit strange about the data is that we had the efficacy is 90% in those who received a lower dose versus 62% who received the dose that they was intended to give. And it was a little bit confusing. But in general, it's assumed that it's a 70% efficacy. Relatively safe, only 8% severe adverse events, which are reversible, and they pass. There was 2 cases of transverse myelitis. One was thought not to be related. The other one, we're not sure. In general, it's a safe vaccine, but a lower efficacy. And this is the British one, which is the Oxford University AstraZeneca. Many questions are being asked about the Chinese vaccines. We have the Sinovac, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of information. The Sinovac, for example, we have some contradictory information. It was reported, the Sinovac, to have an efficacy, for example, in Indonesia of 65%. Lower efficacy. In Mexico, in big study, all of a sudden we have a 50.4%. And again, these are not reported in a good evidence-based, peer-reviewed articles in the literature. The Turkey claims the efficacy of the Sinovac is 90.25%. We don't have good data about its adverse events and serious adverse events, which are published and available to us. This is why I'm putting some question mark on this one, especially about knowing about some cases that had severe complications with the Sinovac and even a death in a very well-known woman that I know in the Middle East. So I'm putting some question on the Sinovac. The Sinopharm is the one being promoted in the United Arab Emirates. They report 86%. The company reports 79.4% efficacy, which is different. Again, we don't have a lot of reports on its adverse events. So this is why I'm not able to enthusiastically support them overall. The big question with all of these, by the way, the Sputnik is the Russian one, and again, we don't have the hard data. They claim 91%, but the data is still questionable. The one which came out actually today is the Novavax, and it's a vaccine which is again deals with it's a nanoparticle of the spike protein with an adjuvant. 90, they're reporting 90%. We still have to see more of the data. 90% efficacy in the UK. And the good thing about this one, and also about the mRNA viruses, it's good efficacy. It seems to be active against the new variant, B.1.1.7. So the Novavax could have a good future again, which was reported here in the United States. Online is the Johnson & Johnson, which is also a spike protein, and this is the only one which is one dose. and then which is under Janssen, under Johnson & Johnson. So this is a summary of the other vaccines, and I would like to talk a little bit in the next session about the variants versus the current vaccines. And so stay tuned, and we'll go for the next session on the variants of the virus versus the vaccines. Thank you very much for your